Man, what's up, man? I got a good one, man, in the house today, man.
sir.
Hey, I really don't need to say your name, but we gotta say your name because you know we get some viewers from Pluto. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
They
sir.
know what's going on Earth, right, man? But look, I want to special thank you for putting me in your schedule. You've been telling me
Yeah, I
make sure
told
you
you.
reach out. You say if it makes sense, I'm gonna stop through, man. And you came through, man. Appreciate you
Much
having
love,
Big
much love.
Wallo,
I had
man.
to, baby.
$1 million
I had
worth
to.
of game, man.
Yes, man.
Man, off the breakaway, man. We'll go from the beginning, man. I know a lot of people know your story a little bit. I just want to touch it a little bit, man. You from Philadelphia, if I'm correct, right? What part of Philly?
I'm from North Philadelphia, 13th and Allegheny. I'm born and raised there. Lived in Logan, lived in Nicetown. Used to be up Erie Ave. Used to be down Cumberland. I used to be around a lot of North Philly.
Around. So you weren't one of them dudes just stick right to your
No,
block.
man.
You moved around.
No, growing up, I was one of them dudes that I always was in juvenile facilities.
Right.
So I always knew dudes from different parts of the city.
Right.
I probably was like in my neighborhood, wherever I lived at, I probably was like the dude that was like the politician. I could go connect with different people from different parts.
Right.
You might be like, damn, I want some weed, man, or damn, I need some wet. Right. Well, I know the bull right here. My man got something. I was that dude that no matter what, I will always say we might be at an event, basketball game, or event, or whatever's going on. I'm the dude that be bouncing all over, talking, saluting different dudes from different parts of the city, different. Because I was always like a politician in that aspect of understanding, like, we can't get strong if we don't fuck with other niggas because, back when I grew up, it was like, you could be fucked up and the dude to put you on. Like, you might have been in jail with a dude might see you at the gas station, you walking out, damn, baby, what's up? Get with me. What you doing? This your neighborhood? I'll be right back. Bull, come back, and next day you know you got 4.5 ounces. You was just broke.
Yeah, drop right on.
Because dudes are dropping on you, and it wasn't like on the you fucked up, fuck you niggas. It was like, man, I got this shit. I'm trying to get this shit off me.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just like I always made sure that and I wasn't no big time drug dealer myself, but a lot of homies did, and it was an opportunity for dudes to get on. So I would just like introduce people and always move around. So I was from them neighborhoods, but man, for real, Philadelphia, was just like my whole neighborhood.
Right. And from down here, and I guess around the country, you always hear some Philly say, I'm from North, I'm from South. What's the glaring difference between the two for those who don't know?
There's a big difference, like in different ways. No matter where you from in Philly, all parts of Philadelphia, dudes get money.
Right.
You got some player shit going on. You got some gangster shit going on.
Right.
You got some grimy shit going on. You got some broads. So I don't really, me. I think North is the biggest part.
Right.
And North is where a lot of powerful activity probably took place in the street game because you got the Latino community over there. So that's where the load was at, I guess.
Right.
So it was, but man, to me, I ain't gonna hold you, man. Like if you from Philly, you from DC, you from Compton, you from Harlem, same ghetto, different name.
Right, same.
Little different slang, little different dress code, but
right.
ghetto shit happening, street shit happening. There ain't too much you could,
Right. And you said something earlier about you was in a lot of juvenile joints like that. So what was your mindset at 15 and 14 to get you in
man,
spots
I
like
was
that?
already knee deep in the system. I first got locked up June 30th, 1990. I was 11 years old for a couple days. For
11 years old.
Yeah, snatch your jury. So I always was in, my whole life, majority of my life on this planet, I've been in institutions.
Right.
I've never been off paperwork since June 30th, 1990. I always was in probation, parole, or in jail. You know what I mean? So it was like 15, I was already knee deep in the system.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And Philly and DC, we similar like far as we one of them towns that everybody feel like they nice with their hands, right? So I know you seen a lot of Hall of Fame street joints coming up, man.
I seen a lot of Hall of Fame street joints, and it's a little different from now.
Right.
Like sometimes I be talking to people because I remember growing up, and it was like, man, I don't give a fuck. You might be me, you might be from the same neighborhood.
Right.
You might be getting 10 kilos. You might have a Benz, a chain on.
Right.
I might just be a cat that's around the way that's like, playing games. I might be a sticker boy, whatever I may be.
Right.
And we might get into altercation. Some wordplay might get off. You taking your jury off, and we mixing.
Right, yeah.
You ain't gonna shoot me. I ain't gonna shoot. I cannot shoot you.
Right.
You couldn't shoot me. We from the same neighborhood. Nobody was letting that go down. You know what I'm saying? So it was a different time. Right. So everybody knew how to rumble because your uncle, your pop, your big brother, somebody taught you how to rumble, or somebody taught you something.
Right.
Or even if you ain't know how to rumble, you get your ass whooped. But that was that.
Right.
You'll figure it out. You know what I mean? But it's like everybody, them cities, these boxing cities, boxing towns. You know. So
and it's crazy because back then I can vividly remember dudes can be fighting, and they get the rats and sell it. Nah, clean break.
Yeah,
nah,
clean break. Yeah,
throw your
go
hands
ahead.
back up. Like,
throw that shit up.
You gotta throw your hands back up, right?
Yeah.
So that was
dap
something.
up before dap up when it's over and
Right,
walk away.
Exactly,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah, man. You from Philly, man? You gotta let us know. If I'm in Philly, what's the best place to get my Philly cheesesteak?
You know, it's different. I've been pescatarian going to the penitentiary since 1997. But before I went to the penitentiary, it was always like Max's. It was Max's.
Right.
But now you got Max's, you got Ishkabibbles, you got Delisandro's. Right. It all depends on your taste buds and who you know that might recommend you there. Because you might go to a spot that might be a fucked up spot, but that might be the first spot you ate at, and you might be like, damn, you can't really put no. And I can't be the one to tell you because I ain't eat a cheesesteak and I don't know how long.
You know 1997.
1997 when I was in the penitentiary, I turned pescatarian. So it was like you can't really. It ain't no wrong and no right. I think because all of them you're gonna see lines. All of them you're gonna see people go there. Like them 3 main spots.
Okay, so I'm in Philly for the weekend, and I done seen you since you started promote so many bands. So I know you can't remember them all, but if I'm in Philadelphia, just on top of your head, give me 3 black bands that you think I should, if I want to buy some clothes or something to eat. Can you think of any 2 to 3? I know you can't get them all, but 2 or 3.
Man, there's so many. You got in Philly. You didn't have so many different clothing lines over the city. Reverend Paradox, Reverend Milano, Reverend Largo, Reverend Lavello, Dia4. It's so many. You know what I mean? It all depends on what you into. And when you talking about restaurants, you got Pretty Girls Cook, you got Country Cooking, you got Kings and Queens. It's a bunch of food. It's too many to name. It's all about who you know and who say, yo, this is my spot. Because, you know, we in the ghetto, everybody don't fuck with everybody. So it's all about who you run into that day that'd be like, oh, no, we on this. We ain't on that. That ain't, you know what I mean? So, and it might be, this shit might be gooder than this shit, but it's like the people, your folks from Philly that brung you through saying, oh, these are peoples, we fuck with them. We don't fuck with them. So, you know, there's always some political shit going on, some beef and shit, some underlying shit. So, you know, it depends.
I agree with that. So when you and Gilly, you say y'all cousins by blood?
That's my blood cousin.
So y'all been running around since out the diapers?
A long time, you know, the dumb shit with him, you know, a long time, you know.
Yeah, he seemed, but every time I see, he seems like he might be really nice in his hand, how he played his hand, his coordination and all that.
He do good, man. I just think he be a little hype with the commutating of the boxing shit. I'm like, nigga, you never was a real fight.
You slow down a little bit?
Yeah, you know, so I be like, I don't pay that shit no attention.
Yeah. So y'all get together, man, and say, man. First, man, when you was in, let me go to the juvenile joint. When you was in the juvenile joint, you made those type of relationships with guys across the town and all that. Do you still garner some relationship now?
A lot of times, you know, you run into dudes. A lot of dudes died, bro.
Right.
A lot of dudes died. A lot of dudes went back to the penitentiary doing life. So you know, but it's something about it when I see dudes though. When I see dudes, whenever I run into a dude that I grew up with, was in the juvenile facility it's an excitement that come into me because it was like I always remember back then whenever we got out, whenever we was running the streets, it was more free then. And when I say free, it's like now it's so like it's not in the street game. It's like it's not free because it's like you got 1,000 cameras, everybody telling. So it's just back then it was just we just was having fun. You remember? Nigga, I'm my way, baby. What's up, man? Get with me, baby. It was just it was a bunch of player shit going on. Dudes would get money. They was putting that shit on. They was trying to have things. So it was just different. It wasn't dark. I think with now the gunplay made this shit so dark and made it secluded where you can't go no. Especially a young cat that's out here. Like I really feel sorry for him because they never got able to experience the beauties that came with the street culture that we did. The money, the money, the women, the dressing fly, saying, yeah, them niggas from over there, we from over here, we gonna be fly to them niggas. You know we going to the game later on. We gonna have that shit on. Fuck them niggas. But it wasn't like we gonna shoot at them niggas. We gonna put that shit on. And it was just like the era where as though you could really see somebody, y'all in the corner, we sitting in the corner, a nigga come shit on you, he ain't gonna slide on you, he gonna slide on you, you gonna pull up in that Benz, him and this man got the Benz, the LSC, the Acura, they back to back, y'all stand on the corner like, them niggas looking at y'all like, damn, man. You like, man. I'm like, damn, Kurt, we gotta turn that shit up. Bro.
You gotta step game up.
Now 6 months later, we coming through like, it was just a battle of, but now it's like, it got real dark and it got real gloomy because it's like, damn, somebody gave the youngest some bad game. Somebody gave the youngest some bad game on the aspect and told him, listen, man, the highest nigga in the street game is the shooter. The shooter was not the highest nigga in the street game. It was, And the dude that get money, he's a turkey.
Right, yeah.
Because the dude that get money, he's a pussy because he's smart enough to say, you know what, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to let that go. I'm going to let that go because I'm getting paper over here, baby. Right. I got some real shit going on. And somebody get the youngest some bad game, man. And what happened is, I just think a lot of referees of the United States of America street code, man, a lot of referees of the street culture, the big brothers, the uncles, the dads, they went to the penitentiary. Some got strung out on dope. Some got killed. And the babies was left out here and the cell phone raised them. They start looking at niggas because, it was like this. A DC nigga, they couldn't tell what a Baltimore nigga was doing or what a Richmond, Virginia nigga was doing or what a nigga from Philly was doing. So they was stuck into their game and they stayed on to their game.
Right.
But when social media came on, a lot of these young cats was watching, what was taking place in Chicago and nobody would admit that. And they start emulating the whole culture. The way they wear their hair, the vocabulary, the slang of different cities.
Right.
Whereas though, there's certain words, there's certain slangs that you knew a dude from DC had, a dude from Philly had, a dude from Baltimore had, based off of that's their thing.
Right.
But the slang was infiltrated because while you was in the penitentiary, I'm in the penitentiary, or the homies got killed, or the homies on dope, these kids, the internet came. So now you get a glimpse of somebody else's environment, and you looking at this because it's on the internet. It's like it's a movie now because the internet made people stars that probably wasn't.
Right.
Because whoever got the most traction on here, they became a star. So these young boys on there looking at Chicago and they like they worshiping it.
Right. Yeah.
It started to become damn. They looking at Chief. They looking at Dirk. They looking at Rondo number 9. They looking at the whole culture. Whereas you go to some of these, listen, pull up on any young boy from some of these cities, and they would give you. They historians of Chicago the Chicago street wars. They'd be able to break that shit down. Because when Rondo went to jail, what's his name?
Right.
They'd break all this shit down. You like,
know what's going on in their own neighborhood. They don't know what's going on.
You don't know that your uncle ran this shit. He got a bunch of money.
Right.
He used to drive Benzes and shit. You don't know that, but you know about. So that took place, and somebody told these young bloods that killing the motherfucker was everything. And that was like the last result. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It was like somebody gave them some bad game. You know what I mean? It's like some bad dope. They gave them some bad game. And it's like it got to the point where as though sometimes some of these neighborhoods, they had the point of no return because I think it's cool to tell a young boy don't do this and that. But when a youngin is in the car with one of his homies and they start shooting, you know what I mean? And his homie, chunks from his homie brain hit his face as he trying to get away, and he like, damn, bro, it's a different game now. Now we in a different sport. Right, and like I always tell the youngest, man, I understand, but damn, somebody gonna have to say, somebody gonna have to pivot and say, in order for this shit, for the cycle to stop and for the babies to have a chance and just for them to have a chance. Because I always tell people, when I'm in corporate, especially when I see people talking fucked up about the youngest, because most of the people that have opinions about the youngest, they never talk to the youngest, and they scared of the youngest. They never get up close to the youngest. And I say this about the youngest when I'm in different environments. I'll be like, listen, the day that these youngins decide to switch the game up, they're gonna be dangerous in a good way because for the first time in America, the black young boys is the most fearless motherfuckers that ever walked the planet. They don't even think about going to jail. They don't even think about dying. They don't give a fuck. So imagine if that was transferred into a different hustle and they knew a trade or a skill or a hustle or knew how to shoot movies or knew how to make clothes. They're gonna be dangerous. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, but somebody gave them some bad game, and it's like it's real hard, man.
Right. And that game leading them to the cemetery and leading to them pins that they waiting to grab them, right?
Yeah.
And so I want you to talk to him about the first day Wallo stepped on a penitentiary playground. I mean that compound. What's going through his mind versus where he just come from?
You want some real shit? When I went to the penitentiary, man, I was scared to death, man. Because, you hear about niggas getting fucked, and I ain't trying to, I'm thinking, damn, nigga might try to rape me. I'm 17. You see what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, damn, nigga might try to fuck me or something. You thinking about all type of shit in your mind as a real... See, one thing about me, I'm a human being, and the greatest thing that I ever did, I tapped into me being a human and not me being a real nigga or me fortifying myself like the streets tell us. So I'm scared to death. Right. I ain't fucking... Right. I ain't playing no game. I'm like, damn. Right. the moment I was relieved when I saw one of the homies on the penitentiary yard, when I saw him, my homeboy Mahoney, little kid from North Philly, Cumberland Street. Mm-hmm. He went, wow. I'm like, bet.
No, yeah.
He come up on me, he had a jacket. That nigga had, man, all his weed in his jacket. And motherfucking, that nigga had a sword on him.
Had a Bethlehem with him.
He like, baby, come on, we over here with it. I'm like, damn, on bet, my man. I see my, you know, because me and him used to do robberies on the street. This is my guy. He introduced me to the other homies. He introduced me to some OGs on the behalf of, you know, when you go to the penitentiary, you get inherited OGs based on your geographical region of the location. That's the old head, that's the old head, that's the old head. Boom, that's what's the name, dad. From down, bet, cool. We solid, bang. Right. So that right there, I think it cooled me down. But going into the system, you just like, damn. And it's a fear of not just somebody gonna do something to you, but what you gotta do to protect yourself, whereas though you might not make it back out the joint, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they don't understand. It's different when you're going through that and when you're doing numbers. So you just be like, man, I'm trying to get in here and get the fuck out, make parole. But then you hear about niggas that got in all type of gang wars in the yard, niggas stab you. And, you know, that shit can take you to another level. So, you know, I definitely was scared without a doubt, you know?
That's only human, but it speaks to your character that you're able to even say it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That speaks to your character.
Out the park, niggas know me. Curb on, little homie. All days, yeah. Been a roll, yeah.
Thank you for watching Changing Jewels on Kirkbone TV. If you like the jewels that we are dropping, subscribe, hit the notification, and share with some friends. And I'll see you on the next episode of Changing Jewels, Kirkbone TV.